Welcome to Lecture 2. We are now going to give a real-life example, and we'll start with a case study of a fashion accessory company that saw both its European online sales plummet post-Brexit, but achieved a simple solution to deliver hassle-free to their European customers. The owner, Ruth, had studied jewelry at college and had taken business courses in social marketing. She and her designers created on-trend designs, with a new range each season, growing the business exclusively online. 80% of sales was UK-based, but the growth was in the European market, which in 12 months expanded exponentially due to some savvy targeted social marketing. After Brexit, the European business continued to grow, until January 1, 2021, which was when the transition period ended and the UK was out of the customs union. The products were made in China and, with the tariff number that came under Chapter 71 of the customs tariff, paid 4% duty on importation into the UK. Ruth continued to sell into the European market, exclusively to end users, private individuals, who invariably bought one or two items. Delivery times were disastrous, taking a week and often longer, with customers being presented with demands for customs duty and customs clearance by the couriers such as Royal Mail and DHL, who now had to make a customs declaration before final delivery. Many couriers stopped delivering from the UK into Europe, due to the backlogs of consignments needing customs clearance. Customer complaints increased, and rather than risk reputational damage, the company stopped offering European delivery on its website. Some couriers began offering the delivery duty paid option, which meant that the VAT and clearance were prepaid to the courier in the UK, but the admin fees levied were not viable, often more than the actual cost of shipping. Ruth recognized that under the current regime, it was not profitable to sell into the European market. Without establishing a European presence, something that required considerable investment and legal fees, the company was resigned to selling solely to the UK domestic market from the Watford warehouse. A solution was found when Brussels introduced the OSS, an acronym for the One-Stop Shop, which allowed companies such as Ruth's to register for a European VAT number and prepay import VAT of the country where the goods were being delivered. As the company was not registered in the single market, an intermediary was needed. A fiscal representative in Holland was chosen. The cost was initially €1 a package, and this went down as volumes increased to 0.75 cents. As the products were priced under €150, there was no duty to pay. Remember, her products had a duty rate of 4%, but for under €150 goods were exempt from duty. The e-commerce software was amended to reflect the VAT rate relevant to the country of destination. VAT in France is 20%. In Greece, it is 24%. The VAT was paid at checkout and remitted to Brussels via the fiscal representative in Holland. The checkout process was updated to offer free delivery with a 5 to 6 day transit and an option for premium delivery on a 2 days transit, except for remote locations. Ruth's software people were able to program all of this with an API, an application programming interface. Her experience of being suddenly shut out of a growing market has made her realize that her goods-to-market strategy has to have built-in agility which can insulate her company from changes in the prevailing political winds. This means having a separate distribution system with split shipments from the factories in China and a new one coming on stream in India, with one dispatched to the UK warehouse and another to an outsourced warehouse in Holland. By subcontracting warehousing and distribution to a third-party logistics provider, our initial capital outlay will be relatively low. Then, with her logistics sorted, Ruth and her partners can focus on preparing their marketing campaign to align with their revised goods-to-market strategy. It will also allow them to offer next-day delivery to many European cities, something which is becoming their expected norm in the e-commerce world. To achieve this, we need to consider 5 crucial aspects of the goods-to-market strategy: establishing lead times from the factory, keeping a running inventory, establishing trigger points, arranging bulk deliveries, replenishing stock, and how to sort, pick, and label individual products for delivery. We will look at this in case study 2. Applying for import one-stop shop. There is a notable difference between the IOSS and OSS. The import one-stop shop, IOSS, is for goods originating from outside of the European Union which must be imported prior to delivery to European consumers. Also, the value of goods per package cannot exceed €150. One registration covers all 27 European member states. Monthly VAT returns are required. For UK distance sellers, IOSS gives you the same European access you enjoyed before Brexit. You collect VAT at checkout, ship your goods to your customers in the European single market without hassle, and the VAT is transferred to each country via an official European Union intermediary. The one-stop shop, OSS, is for goods already in the single market for delivery to European consumers. For non-European Union businesses, this would normally be goods imported in bulk into European warehouses or fulfillment centers. You'll need to be VAT registered in the European Union to warehouse goods. One OSS EU registration covers all 27 member states. Quarterly VAT returns are required. Registered in the European single market. There are different routes into the single market, each with cost implications, so a European company isn't the only option, particularly if you only need partial access. If you exclusively sell goods valued at under €150 to EU clients, then the IOSS scheme will suffice. To satisfy all the conditions to obtain a VAT number, you will have to provide the following documents: a copy of a certificate of registration in your country or its equivalency, a copy of all your company memorandum, this is not applicable for the sole proprietorship, a copy of the identity card of the legal representative, original power of attorney signed by both parties, if you opt for a tax agent. Fiscal representation can also be a good option for warehousing and distribution to ensure VAT compliance. However, for full access to the EU, you need to set up a European entity, which allows you to distribute your goods to the biggest single market in the world. Does my company need to be registered in the European Union? There are different routes into the single market, each with cost implications, so a European company isn't the only option, particularly if you only need partial access. It's possible to have an EU company without a VAT number, but your trading options are extremely limited. If market surveillance compliance is your only consideration, then it may be enough. However, the possibility to take full advantage of the single market, with cross-border VAT simplification, is one of the main advantages of having your own European entity, so normally you'll want to be VAT registered, and for most goods and services it's an obligation. Most countries' VAT rates are in line with the European Union's VAT directive, namely that the standard VAT rate must be 15% or higher. If you want to store goods in the EU, you must be registered with a tax office in one of the 27 member states. This happens either if you work with a marketplace storing your goods or when you outsource the fulfillment of your order to a logistics. There are three basic ways to get goods into free circulation in the single market. The first way is to clear at the border. Customs declarations are given a movement reference number which identifies each individual shipment coming into the single market customs territory. Customs Regime 42 is mainly used in the case where an economic operator wishes to import goods from a third state, say the UK, into a member state and immediately make a delivery in another EU country. The intra-community delivery is not subject to payment of VAT by the seller. Thus, by placing the import under Procedure 42, VAT in the member state of customs clearance is suspended, subject to different conditions. First of all, it is necessary that the subsequent intra-community delivery be carried out immediately after importation. We can take as an example a UK supplier sourcing products who sells to their subsidiary company established in France, who will resell to a customer established in Belgium. The goods then leave India to be imported into France and then be delivered immediately to Belgium. The French subsidiary company can clear its goods with the Indian invoice, then deliver to the Belgian customer who will not be involved in the import operation. Thus, thanks to the system of Regime 42, no one advances VAT. Another example is a truck coming from the UK to Italy, crossing French customs territory. In this case, the truck would travel under a T1 transit document which allows the goods to cross the French border without clearing into free circulation. The customs clearance takes place at the customs office of destination, using the community transit system. The new computerized transit system, NCTS, is an electronic system used by the customs administrations of the European Union and the European Free Trade Association countries for the control of the movement of goods between member states under transit procedures. The UK has remained a member of the NCTS. The NCTS system facilitates the movement of goods across borders by providing a paperless transit procedure. It allows economic operators to submit transit declarations electronically and exchange data with customs administrations, transport companies, and other parties involved in the transit process. The system helps to ensure the secure movement of goods while providing faster clearance and reducing administrative burden for traders. The NCTS system covers several transit procedures, including the Common Transit Procedure, CTP, the TIR procedure, and the ATA, Temporary Admission, Carnet procedure. It also provides a single administrative document for customs declarations that can be used for various transit procedures. Overall, the NCTS system aims to streamline and modernize transit procedures within the EU and EFTA countries, making cross-border trade more efficient and secure. ATA carnets are commonplace in exhibitions, the transport of instruments and concert staging, and works of art, as goods can travel freely in the EU, under a guarantee issued by a Chamber of Commerce.